चाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरु गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुदेवो महेश्वर गुरुसाक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। ॐ असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ पूर्णमद पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। Okay, so thank you guys for coming and joining the class. I hope you guys had a good Holi. You guys enjoyed Holi last week? Awesome. So I sent an article for you guys to read and just tell us something that you like in the article and why do you like it and anything that you learn out of the article. So we're gonna take that first, and it's a famous article because it's the famous speech of Swami Vivekananda to introduce Hinduism to America, but we can say all over the world, right? So that was the famous speech, and you read about it. So let's talk to all. You just guys can tell me what you like about it and why, and also anything that you learn out of that speech. Good. So who wants to start first? Sasha, you want to go first? Okay, come on.
So in that speech, he talks about like how like he's very universal about things, and he it doesn't like matter what religion you are and like where you were brought up. Mm-hmm. Everybody's treated equal to him. Mm-hmm. And like he'll take care of you even if you're like even if you're a different ethnicity or you have a different complexion than he does. So he's like very universal about those things.
Mm-hmm. Good. Yeah, true. Okay. Arika, you want to go next?
I liked how he talked about different religions and how all of them are equal.
Mm-hmm. Good. Like it. Who's gonna go next? Neil, you want to say?
It's like he talks about how he's proud that he belongs to a religion that isn't like mostly like other religions. It has the idea of toleration, and it accepts all religions as true and will accept anyone else. Mm-hmm. It won't depend on their religion race.
Yeah. Good. I think I don't know if you guys don't hear my voice, let me know, because I think for Neil it was breaking off. I couldn't hear it properly. So yeah, but I did hear the part of it saying that all religion are Hinduism accepted all the religion and has a tolerance and university. So that's a good thing. Okay, Sanay, you want to go next?
He said he didn't want fanaticism,
mm-hmm.
and he wanted to get rid of that in that meeting.
Uh-huh.
So
That's what you like about. So could you explain what is fanaticism?
well, what I liked about it, people already said. So I just
You can repeat it, because as many times as we're gonna listen to this, as many times I would love to, listen to it. So tell me what you like about personally. It doesn't matter if everybody said it, because it's a small article, right? So everybody will pick the same thing. So go ahead.
I also liked the part like he was proud to be in the religion that he is, Hinduism.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I liked about it.
Good. And why do you would explain it little?
I guess like he said many of the things that Hinduism has accomplished.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm.
So like it's kind of interesting knowing all the things that that happened with Hinduism.
Mm-hmm. Good. He gave some examples, right? That giving shelter to everybody, accepting all the religions and bringing them together, right? So those things that he was proud of, and proud to be Hindu. Okay, so good. So Sia, you want to go next?
So I like that he has faith and he believes in what he's saying and what he's doing.
True. That's a good insight. That's an amazing thing. Yeah. So he has a faith in Hinduism, in the religion that he is talking about, right? So that's why he was so confident in talking about that he is proud to be Hindu. So he has a faith in Hinduism. So good, great. Okay. Who's gonna go next? Okay, Swara, go ahead.
I like how he talks about how like every religion is special in their own way.
True,
And
right?
and they each have like a different way of celebrating or like praying to their God.
Mm-hmm. True, like every path could be different. Different religion has different path. Good. Okay. Who wants to go next? Karnu, you want to say something about it?
Okay, I'm finally done with what I learned.
Sure. Tell me.
Alright, so he is known for his wonderful speech in 1893 World Parliament of Religion.
Mm-hmm.
He started his speech with saying brothers and sisters instead of saying ladies and gentlemen.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, we believed not only in universal toleration, but we also accept all religion as true. He continues his speech of many important meanings. He mentioned something about Gita, saying, whoever I come upon or cross in whatsoever form, I reach him. All men are struggling through path which in the end lead to time.
Yeah.
And then I learned a valuable lesson from this article that how rich our Hindu culture is, how much we respect all human, and how we treat equally, and that's it.
Yeah, awesome, amazing. Very nice, Karnu. That was a good summary of the whole speech. Wonderful. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was really good speech. Risha, you want to go next? Risha and Nishi? Is Nishi there? No? Okay. Risha, you want to go next?
Sure. Just a second.
Mm-hmm.
I liked how he talked about unity in this speech, like how everyone should come together.
Mm-hmm. Good.
And yeah.
So that's okay. I'm losing you. Okay. So unity to come together as a different religion coming together, right? That's what you were talking about.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Varshini, you want to say something about it? Is Varshini there, Neil?
I don't know.
Okay. Anybody else that, Sean?
I like that
Yeah, go ahead.
I like that he was proud of being Hindu, and he said that a Hindu is, and explaining Hindu as a religion of universal tolerance and acceptance, and also believing that all religions are true and stuff. And I learned that all religions have different paths, but in the end, the goal is reaching God and respect all the religions. Yeah.
Respect all the religion. That's what you like to know. Okay, Krish, you want to say?
Sure.
I know you said it last time, but say it again.
No, that's something. So the thing I like most in his speech is that he highlights how the Gita is inclusive to everyone. And throughout his speech, he also talks about breaking the boundaries between the people and their religions. And so this is shown in the very first words, so you know what his speech is going to be about when he says sisters and brothers, bringing everyone together. Instead of starting with something separate, even if in that speech he was going to talk about how everyone's the same.
Yeah.
So it's a strong starting. And then that proof that people recognize this was after his first words, he couldn't say the rest of his speech for some time because everyone started clapping for a couple minutes. So that's why I like it.
Yeah. Good. Okay. Nishi, you want to talk about the article?
Yeah, sure. Okay, so basically in the first paragraph, he was saying thanks to the speakers, and he didn't say thanks from himself. He also said it from all. He said, "I thank you in the name of millions and millions of Hindu people of all classes and sects," because they couldn't come to talk to them. So he was saying.
So he was telling that I am representing so many people, right? So he was not just that I'm representing Vivekananda Swami, I'm representing the whole Hindu religion. Right, entirely. Good point. What else? Nishi, you want to say something else for that?
No, that's all I have.
Oh, okay. Okay, Varshini, you want to say? I saw you, Varshini.
She went to go get a charger.
Oh, okay. And anybody else who I'm missing here? Everybody said something? Good, yeah. So I think it was most important thing what we need. I want you to read in the thing is how in 18th century he presented Hinduism in front of the whole entire world, right? And that's what we need to think about ourselves too, that how proud he was first of all about the religion, right? So the greater thing is we are Hindu, right? So we have to be proud of what we are for, right? Sometimes we feel okay, there are a lot of things that come across and we said, okay, what is our religion, right? Why do we have to go to the temple, or why are you doing this, or why are we doing that? First of all, what Sia said, I love that we have to have faith, right? And the way he described Hinduism, it's not just a ritual thing, or we do arti, or we do bindi, or we do we do worship of idol, we do the murti puja. He did not explain that. He explained the bigger picture of Hinduism, right? Which is what we do is we accept everybody. We don't have fanaticism saying that our religion is the best religion and none other religion is good. What do we do is we respect all the other religion, and we believe that other religion has different paths. We have different paths to take, but the ultimate goal that is we are reaching is God is the same, right? Islam has a path that they take to reach God. We have a path to take. The route is different. Everybody has different path, but the destination to reach is the same, and it's the same God. So he brought the universal idea of unity that we should be thinking about, as when we are talking about our religion. This is the main thing we need to talk about, right? We are not, and you will see in his work how we were not looking forward to saying that, oh, you know, Christianity doesn't have this, or Islam doesn't have this, or Buddhism doesn't have this, you should be practicing Hinduism, you should be doing, you know, you should follow Hindu gods, and you should do this, that. There was nothing like that. What it was like, whatever you are, your religion is best. You become a better person, you become a better, you know, you become better to serve Christ if you are Christian. You become better to serve Allah if you are, you know, if you are Islam, if you are following Islam. You become better Hindu if you follow like his studies and his you know, whatever he wrote and he said, and he taught us about Vedanta and all those things, which we are following right now, which we are studying in Gita class. So what he wants to say is, you become a better person, a better follower, and reach your goal, the purpose of your life that all humans are born with. So you reach that goal, right? So that's the biggest thing that I would like you guys to understand first. Be proud what you are, right? Be proud of what you are doing, but you need to also understand and get the knowledge where all these things come. Like, because you will come across where the question is going to be asked that, is Gita teaching violence? Because what Krishna Bhagavan said, like, if somebody takes the book and just one summary, if somebody reads, it says that Krishna Bhagavan is advising Arjun to fight, right? And this big battle is going to happen, and there will be so many people will be killed, and Krishna Bhagavan is advocating that fight. Krishna Bhagavan is saying to, so you might be questioned on your religion, saying that, is Gita book right for reading? Because it's actually is asking for, while, you know, it's asking for you know, a fight which is definitely going to kill so many people. You should have an answer for that, right? Because you should know the knowledge what Gita is. So if we read the content, the whole content so far, after chapter 1st, we never hear about the fight part, right? It's talking about, this script is more about moksha, for the liberation. It's not for, when sometimes, you know, I go and look in the library, there is a Gita for leadership. It's not for that, right? Though there is a content that a person reads and can get something out of it that can make you a better leader. Definitely there is. But the book, when it was written for moksha, your liberation. It was not for making somebody a great leader, or making somebody a great householder, or making somebody you know, do the right things in the life, or do moral things in life. It was not written for morality. It was not written for your ethics. It's not written for that. So book has a purpose, which the purpose was not to advocate the fight, not to give your moral lessons, not to give you your you know, what you to become a better person. Nothing is like that. What this is for moksha, for liberation, right? So you need to remember that thing. So if somebody asks you that, hey, does Gita talk about violence, you should know that how to present Gita, because it's your religion, and you have to make sure that people understand it, right? You need to make them understand Gita is not for violence. Gita is for moksha, liberation, and it doesn't content anything that has it. Because if it is for violence, Krishna could have said, when Arjun said not to fight, Krishna should have said, don't you remember what they did with you? Don't you remember how they you know, bring Draupadi in middle of the whole court and insulted her? Do you not remember their insult? Do you not remember that? He would have talked about bad things about what they did, and Arjun would have already prepared to fight, right? Krishna Bhagavan just had to say those things, but he did not. What did he do? He actually explained how you can go towards moksha by doing your karma, right? Now when Krishna and what Arjun, Krishna Bhagavan explained Arjun that you are Kshatriya, right? Sometimes you will be asked that, is Gita talks about caste, like, oh, certain caste has to do certain things, certain caste has to do certain things. That's not it about, right? Krishna Bhagavan said Kaya Kshatriya means, oh, you are the shoulder, that's why you have to fight. But that's not all about it, right? It's not about that. It's telling you the story about that you have, like, if you go and talk to the army person and there is a fight going on and he has to save his country, what would you say? Not to fight? You would have to tell him, go fight because you have to save people of your country, right? Now, the same thing, you will not tell a student and come and you are in 9th grade and somebody will come and say, no, you need to go and fight. The content is not right, right? So somebody has to make sure that they understand Gita well. You need to be ready to talk about it, right? So from Vivekananda Swami, he was only, he was not like, he was what, 29-year-old when he said that speech, right? And he has so much knowledge, right? So if you guys, I feel bad that I did not have that knowledge when I was growing up, or I was in my 20s, but you guys got an opportunity to know about your religion better, your the whole Hindu religion better. So get it, and then when you get the information, make sure you take it and learn it, what's the real thing is. So nobody can distract you by saying wrong things about your religion, right? The same way you need to respect other people's religion too, right? So that respect should come. That's the harmony that Vivekananda Swami wanted to bring with everybody, that you respect your religion because you are born in that religion. I respect my religion because I'm born in this. I know my religion. So now we respect each other, and that's how the world become unite, and we can, half of the problem will go away in this world, right? So that's the bigger thing that I wanted to talk to you about with this article. Good? Okay. So now let's start our class where we left it last time. Let me see where was it.
35.
35, right? Let me quickly do a summary, because a lot of people, you guys got to see the video from last week. Did you guys not? Okay, so make sure you guys see it, because it's a really good sloks that I will do a little bit summary, but I would like you to make sure that even if you do like what do you guys do, the fast volume thing, fast thing, and
speed up the video.
Speed up the video, but listen to it, because it's really good for you guys to listen. Last week class. So let's start with that where we left. So yeah, okay, we start with Jiva. Jiva is the human or any living organism or body. Jiva is made up of two things. What is two things? Anybody can tell me?
It's
Atma
and Prakriti.
Atma and Prakriti. Atma and Prakriti. So Jiva, any organism, is made of two things. Atma, we always talk about it, consciousness, right? Consciousness that doesn't die, doesn't born, doesn't change, stays ever and ever the same thing. It just get the new body, like we change the clothes, right? So the fire cannot burn it, the air cannot blow it. You remember that whole slok in chapter 2nd? So that's consciousness, right? The Prakriti. Do you remember Prakriti? What is it made of? Anybody? Prakriti is made of? Anybody there? Prakriti is made of? Nature is made of? Nature and Prakriti is same. What is it made of?
Nature.
Nature, Prakriti, what is it made of? Yes, Anit.
Eternal and temporary? Something?
No, that's Atma, right? Prakriti is made of gunas. What is guna? Our nature. Yeah, Risha. Risha, go ahead.
Oh, nothing.
Okay. Avika, are you saying, raising your hand? Yeah, tell me.
I don't see that Prakriti is like what your guna is, so mine says Rajasic.
Yes, thank you. I think by now, probably everybody, like even Karnu's sister would remember what is Prakriti made of, what gunas, right, Karnu? Does Veera remember now what Prakriti is made of? I said it so many times. I think probably the walls and the walls will remember. So, Prakriti is made up of 3 gunas. What are these? Rajasic, Tamasic, and Sattvic. Okay, so that's what Krishna Bhagavan says. So everybody that they works, any action that we take, it depends on what kind of mixture we got in this, right? So what kind of equation we have between these 3 gunas, that's how we do our action, right? It depends on if somebody has Rajasic more, they are passionate more, they have a lot of desires. If they are tamasic, they are very lazy people. If their percentage is more, if they are sattvic, they are towards, they are very easily initiated towards the spiritual life, right? So that's how these ratios will tell us what we are. So first of all, when he said that if you want to know something, you want to know what you are, you need to think about these gunas. What do I have, right? Now Krishna Bhagavan said that depending on these gunas, you take your thoughts come and you take your actions, right? So whatever these gunas are, that's how you take action, and you think about yourself according to these gunas. Then after this, God says that what happened is this: you should be, now on the other topic, he starts with here saying that you should take your action depend on your swadharma. And in the last class, I explained swadharma. What is swadharma? Swadharma is what you are good at. Yeah, sorry. Avika, you want to say something?
I was just gonna say what you said.
Tell me, I'd like to hear from your voice. What is swadharma?
One says your duty.
Your duties, yes. So your swadharma is your duty, what you have to do, right? So again, we're gonna come back and say, what is your dharma right now as a kid? Anybody can tell me what's your duty? Yes, Ane? What's your duty? To? Live. It's everybody's duty, right? Okay, let me ask Sia.
To learn.
To learn, right? So when you are a kid till you become adult, what are your duty is? To learn, right? That's your foundation duty, your basic duty, right? But there could be other duties added to it, right? Sadharan duty is the normal duty. That is what you are, you have to learn. Then there is asadharan duty, right? Sometimes you have asadharan duty, means some parents would like you to help them, right? Do the chores for them, right? So then that's your duty too, to make your parents happy. Then, or you have a brother, sister, or probably you might have to help with your brother and sisters, right? So if you have a little brother and sisters, you have to take care. That's your duty too, right? So there are a lot of asadharan duties that you get it because of your family environment or your own things, right? So that your duty, that action that you do, where does the thoughts come from to do those actions? They come from your prakriti, right? Any actions that you take place come from. Now, what is the big deal out of it? What is this chemistry that we are talking about here, right? Now, what happens is, I need to tell you one more thing about the prakriti. So, what prakriti? Where does prakriti come from? Where does these guna come from? And we already discussed that, but just to revise you a little bit, to give you a revision, prakriti come from our last not last, but many lives, right? So whatever lives you lived before, whatever actions you kept doing, right, that made your prakriti. Prakriti is also the tendencies that you got, right? So previous lives, you got prakriti plus the events in the life. That makes your prakriti too, right? The events in your life means the things that you keep doing again and again repeatedly. You did in your family. Let's say what happens is since we are born, every evening or morning we do prayers, right? Okay, so what's going to happen is in the morning, evening, we are doing prayer every day. So every day we keep rotating about doing these prayers. What's going to happen? That's going to increase your sattvic guna, right? Or on the contrary, let's say if I say I become, you know what, that I am really doesn't wake up early, I want to sleep long, I don't want to do any work, I just sit and I just want to sit home and do nothing, then what's going to happen is our tendency starts getting, because of our experiences, the events in our life, we are getting towards more tamasic tendencies, right? So these prakriti come from last lives also, but also the events that happen in this life, right? You know, like you would say that there are, you know, some kid whose parents passed away early age, right? Then they start earning earlier, like, you know, they got the responsibility of their family and they start earning earlier, right? So that event changed the whole prakriti of their, right? It could be possible, like a big event happened, big accident happened in their life, then all these things start changing, right? So prakriti come about from our last life and from events that happens in our life. All right, now that's about it, right? So now we have to ask Krishna Bhagwan that that's good. We are not doing anything about Atma, because Atma everybody has the same. This is the thing that makes us different, right? I am different than Krish is. Krish is different than what Sean is. Sean is different than what Sia is, or Avika is, or anybody of you are, right? So everybody is different. On base of what? On base of this. Everybody has Atma the same. Consciousness is the same. Every single person has the same. There is no difference in it. Where the difference comes is in this ratio of these prakriti that we have, right? Now, because of these prakriti, the thoughts come, right? All our thoughts come because of these prakriti. Now, last class I talked about the thoughts comes first. That's the number one. Any action that you have to do, like let's say there is an apple on the counter that I want to eat, right? I looked at the apple, the thought came in my mind that I should eat the apple. I like the apple, I should eat the apple. So the thought comes. Now I started building all the thoughts on that apple, whether I should cut it or eat it, you know, bite in, or should I go walk there, get the apple. So the thought started getting stronger and stronger for eating that apple that's on the counter. So the thought came. The second comes the speech. Speech means my mind said it to my organs that go and walk to the counter and take that apple to eat, right? So I built on that thought of eating apple, and then my mind started, my body and everything started talking to each other. The speech came, and then I decided to go and eat that apple. And then the third thing comes is the action. I walked towards the counter, I grabbed the apple, my hand grabbed the apple, and I started eating, right? That's how we do the action, right? So the thought comes, speech comes, and then it comes to action. That's where action is happening. Now, if we have a good prakriti, like, you know, let's say we are doing good thing for others. Like, let's say we did, our parents told us to do a chore and we are doing that chore. Let's say vacuuming the house, right? So the thought came that let's do the vacuum, right? So our thought came We went to the speech. We said, okay, vacuum is in the corner. Let me plug the vacuum. Let me do it. So our body got all the messages. We went and pick up the vacuum, do it, and then the action came. That's the sattvic outcome, right? The sattvic nature that we wanted to help our parents, and we did. What would tamasic do? Right? Tamasic do what? Krish, you want to explain because you do a lot, so tell me. Okay, so what does tamasic do? The thought came, oh, I need to do the vacuum, but I'm not ready. I will do it later. How about I will do it in the evening? Then the thought came and said, I don't want to do it, right? So the message went to our organ saying that I don't want to do it. And then the speech came that we are not doing it. Go sit in the bed, don't move. And then the action becomes sleeping, right? So that's how the action becomes, right? So the thought is the biggest starter of all the action. So whatever action we do, it starts from the thought. That's where it comes. And the thought is all given by our Prakriti, right? You got that point? Now what happens is, if we want to make a change in ourselves, right? Because this is the only place you need to change. You cannot change consciousness. You cannot change the Atma. This is the only place you can change. Krishna Badlogya. Okay, that's that. So this is the place where we can change, right? If we want to change anything here, and that's where we want to change. So the thought comes, that's where, rather than if a good thought comes, we can put the strength on the thought and keep thinking about taking an action and going towards it. If a bad thought comes, because it's going to go to speech and action really quickly, so what we have to do is we have to stop right here. Right at this point we have to stop, and that's where the action can be taken place. That's where that we can change the action. And action is a free will for us. It's not a destiny. It's not anything. It's free will for us. This action part, this thought part is not right now free will, because it is influenced by all our gunas that we came with from our last lives and from our events of the life. These gunas we don't have a control on at this time. So the thoughts will come, right? The thoughts will come, but this is where we have to work on it. If we don't work on it, then this action will be happen. If action is wrong action, then what's going to happen is it's going to again become your prakriti, your tendency, and keep going for the next life and next life and next life, and you're going to keep suffering, and you will not get everlasting happiness, right? The sorrow will be there. Now, how to stop at the thought level, right? How to stop at the thought level is, that's where we need to have to do work on it. If the thought comes bad, we need to stop it. So let's say a thought comes that, you know, that everybody is smarter than me. I'm not smart, right? Or I'm not beautiful. Everybody is beautiful than me. Everybody looks so prettier than me. I'm not pretty, right? That thought came to me, right? Now what happened is, that thought is not sattvic thought. Is it a sattvic thought? No. Because what happened? The body, the mind, and the everything is, do you have a control on it? It is given by you. It is given to you. By who? By God, right? You did not decide to get into this body. Did you decide? Did you make the decision? Do you have the paper of this body? No, right? You did not decide. Did your parents decide that, okay, I need a child like this?
No.
No. How did your parents can decide that, okay, I should have a kid who should be very smart, or who should have a prettier face, or this or that, or it has to be beautiful. Can your parents decide that? No. So whose control was who had that control on? Right? God, nobody else. Right? It's not in our control. So that's cut mark. That, so if I have a thought about I'm not good, I'm not pretty, I'm not smart, if that thought comes in me, is that a good thought or bad thought? Anybody from there? Is that a good thought or bad thought? Risha, is that a good thought, bad thought? Bad, right? We can do this. It's a bad thought, right? Should we make that thought stronger, or should we break that thought?
Break it.
Break it, right? Bend it and break it and throw it away, right? So to break it and throw it away, you have to stop it right there. What happens is, one time the thought will come, you're going to keep thinking about it, and you're going to make it stronger and stronger. And then the time will come that you will really think that you are not smart and you're not beautiful. That's going to be stabilized in your head now. And then all the actions that you're going to do is based on that part, right? Because that's not a good thought. Your tendencies start getting bad. So you are getting impacted here. You are getting twice impacted. You are getting impacted here on the action with the bad thought. Also, your tendencies are getting bad. Your prakriti is getting bad, right? So you are hit twice by doing that. Now what happens is, when that thought comes, what do I have to think? I'm not smart, but I'm really good at what? Something else. God give you something that you are really good at. There is nobody in their life, in the human life is made, that doesn't have a good thing. If I'm not smart, there is something that God has given you. 110%. There is no if and buts for that. Right? If I'm not beautiful, I might be doing something other that's, and somebody is never not beautiful. Everybody has beauty in them, right? So if that thought comes, I need to change that thought right away to not make it hard and stronger, and then let it flow through it and let the action comes out of it, right? So that's where we have to stop. Now, how do we stop here? Does a thought stops by itself? It doesn't, right? We have to do some work on it. It doesn't. From thought to speech to action, you don't have to do any work. It will flow through it. It's defaulted. It's going to come. It's going to happen, right? But to stop thinking about it, you have to work towards it. Now, how do you change that? Well, how do you change it? Is you have to train your brain. You have to start training it. You remember that we talk about it? That horses in the chariot of where Krishna Bhagavan is the charioteer and Arjuna is sitting in that, and horses are the mind, and we have to train them. So I was giving an example that how do you make sure that your mind, your thoughts are not bad thoughts keep coming, right? So how can you have to train them, not saying that, hey, whenever this thought comes, I need to change my thoughts to something else. And you have to find something else as a good, so you can make an effort to change your thoughts to something else. That's where it comes from here, right? So training your mind to get deviated from that thought. Now, where at this point we'll say that what should I think about? What should I do so I can change my thought, right? This thought doesn't go out of my mind. What should I do to change it? How can I train my mind to do it? So first of all, a big picture. I tell you that you should have a bigger purpose in your life, right? That's what we talk about all the time. It's not about I'm going to be this, I'm going to be that. That's my bigger purpose. That's my purpose for the human life. That's not it, right? There should be a bigger purpose. Helping others, or I'm going to, realize God, whichever path you take. If your thought is not for that bigger purpose, then you change your thought to get to that bigger purpose. right? Is that going to help me to realize God? Is the thought that I'm not smart, I'm not beautiful, will it help me realize God? Will it?
No.
No, right? It will not. So that thought is not a good thought, right? Well, anything that I think will help me help others, be a welfare, can I do welfare for others? Right? I'm not smart, I'm not beautiful. With that, those two thoughts, will it help me help others? No. So then that's not a good thought. I don't want that thought, right? That's the decision you guys have to make when this is coming, right? So that's what we talked about, I think last time. We talked about Swadharma, and another thing, I think I want to talk a quick thing about Swadharma that God explained last time, what you should be. Yes, Swara? Swara, you are saying something? Yes. Is my voice cracking?
I can't hear you.
Oh man. Is my voice, everybody listening to me properly or no? Okay. Are you guys okay? So I think Swara, probably let's try again, see if you can hear me.
I can hear you.
You can. Okay, awesome. Okay, thank you guys. So one thing more I need to add on to this conversation is, when you always I tell you that you are good at something, really good at something, right? You might not know. Some people know. Some kids know that what they are good at, right? And some people already pick that I'm good at this, I'm going to keep doing this, and this is my life, and I'm going to continue doing that. And some people will say that, okay, I don't know what I'm good at. I have no idea what I'm good at, right? It's okay not knowing that I don't know what I'm good at, right? Slowly, if you start going towards your sattvic thought, God will show you the way, what you are good at, and you will reach your goal by, it will take you to that path, and you will be at the path what you are good at. So don't worry about it if you don't know anything, and you should not be good at everything. Also make sure that you keep that in mind. You cannot be good at everything. It could be that you are good at something, you're not good at something else. That's okay not to be good at something, right? So don't worry about that, because you should be thinking about the bigger picture, not little things, what is like and dislikes that I have, right? So that's where we were. So we're gonna do the next slok where, so here the technical way of doing action, God explained it, what technically we should be doing about the action. So he gave a big answer, that surrender all the actions to me with spiritual attitude, without attachment, without desire. And then he said, go live your life, or go fight for Arjun. And then he said, without agitation. So that's the action that he is looking for, right? Now he explained how the action goes, and how we should be changing our prakriti by changing our thought process. So we discussed all that. So technicality of how the action should be done is done on this slok. Now Arjun comes back and asks another question. So let's see what question he asked now, which could be the same question that we would ask. So let's go to slok number 36, right? So, Sia, would you read the 36?
Okay.
Okay. We will all sing together, like, we will all, can you all unmute so we all can sing the thing, and I can hear you guys singing too. So can you please all unmute your screens? Okay. You good? Okay. So go ahead, Sia.
Arjunuvacha
Arjunuvacha
atakena prayuktoya
अथ केन प्रयुक्तोऽयम्
पापं करति पुरुषः
पापं चरति पुरुष
अनिच्छम् अपि वर्ष्णे
अनिच्छन्नपि वर्ष्णेय
बलादिव नियोजितः
बलादिव नियोजित. Very nice. Together. अर्जुनोवाच अथ केन प्रयुक्तोऽयम् पापं चरति पुरुषः अनिच्छन्नपि वर्ष्णेय बलादिव नियोजित. Nice, very nice. Thank you. So now Arjun comes back and asks a question. He said that why is the person forced to do an act that is against his own wish, that can cause a sin, a wrong act, right? Why is he impelled to do a wrong action? Why the person, without him, like, I don't want to do anything wrong, but still something makes me do something wrong. Why that happens, right? So he asked a very straightforward question here, like, why is it considered wrong when I don't wish to do that, right? Still I did an action, and it impels me to do that action. So why does that happen? Why it happens, and how it happens and why it happens. So Krishna Bhagavan is asking that. Arjun is asking that. So I understand that all comes from the Prakriti, right? Everything is coming from Prakriti. We already talk about it. It's nothing in our control. The Prakriti that came through the nature to us, that's why we do that kind of action. Okay, good, I understand that, right? But why are you giving me sin, or why is I causing sin by doing wrong action, when the Prakriti, it all comes from Prakriti. God gave it to me. Why am I doing these wrong action, and why is it sound as I'm doing, even if I don't wish, I still do a wrong action, right? So he's asking that really good question on that. Now, if you remember, we talked about it long time ago about Duryodhana. It's the same question that Duryodhana asked to Krishna Bhagavan, right? He said that, I know what is right and what is wrong, right? I am aware of it, what is right and what is wrong, but there is inside me ask me to do this wrong action, and I do the wrong action. So I know that I'm doing wrong, right? Duryodhana was very clear and very honest about it. I know I'm doing wrong, I'm aware of it, but there is inside that makes me do that, and that's what I like to do. So I'm going to keep doing wrong, right? So here, what is the difference between Duryodhana and Arjun? A lot of, and again, people who haven't gone through the whole Mahabharata and whole Gita would say, why Krishna Bhagavan did not teach Duryodhana this Gita? If he would have taught Duryodhana the Gita, then how easy it would be. There will be no bad people. If he would have understand what is good, then the whole war would not take place, right? So why Krishna Bhagavan did not go and make Duryodhana right person, rather than help the right person who was right, Arjun, and give him all the Gita teaching, right? Wise was not. So here is the difference. Arjun is asking the same question that was asked for Duryodhana. But what Duryodhana said, this is me. I'm not going to change. This is what I enjoy, because I know it is wrong. I'm doing wrong thing, but I'm going to keep doing it. Instead of Arjun, what Arjun is saying here, that why I keep doing wrong things, though I know it is wrong, but why I keep doing it. So give me the answer, and what can I do to change it? So he's willing to change. He is willing to bring the changes that is making him do wrong action. In part of Duryodhana, what happened? He doesn't want to change. He wants to stay the same, right? He knows it's wrong and he doesn't want to do anything about it. Here, Arjun knows something is wrong, but he wants to work on it and he wants to change on it. So that's what he is talking about here. Now he has a sense of wrong things that he wants to do. Now, usually people do wrong thing because of two things. There are two things when people start doing wrong. One is the temptation. The second thing is fear, right? With the fear, we do wrong thing. Let's see temptation, right? The temptation is like, oh my God, if I don't do this, I will not get that, right? So let me do the wrong thing, then I will get that. So temptation is the first thing that's going to give you to do the wrong thing. The second one is fear. Oh, I'm scared that this thing's going to make me lose something or not get something. I'm really afraid of it. So let me do this wrong thing so that I can get it. So there are two things that gives temptation and fear that causes the wrong thing. Now in this scenario, Arjun is asking that, so let's read one more shlok and see what Krishna Bhagwan is answering. I know the time is over, but let's do this shlok real quick and then we will do the detail next time. So, Sia, you want to read the shlok number 36?
Okay.
Sorry, 37, where Bhagwan starts answering the question.
Okay. Shri Bhagwan Vacha
Shri Bhagwan Vacha
Kama Esa Krodha Esa
Kama Esha Krodha Esha
Rajo Guna Samudbhava
Rajo Guna Samudbhava
Mahasona Mahapapma
Mahashano Mahapapma
Vidina Mihavarina
Vidina. Okay, all together. Can you unmute that?
Shri
Bhagwan Vacha Kama Esha Krodha Esha Rajo Guna Samudbhava Mahashano Mahapapma Vidina. Awesome. So Krishna Bhagwan now answered the question, right? Why a person does a wrong thing, right? So he is answering two things that makes a person do wrong thing. I said temptation and fear, but he said Kama Esha Krodha Esha. Kam means desire. Desires, and Krodha Esha. Krodha means anger. So Kam means desire and Krodha means anger. So anger and desire, which is born out of Rajas Guna. Both of them, the desire and Krodha, are born out of Guna named Rajas. They are the problem. They are the problem. They make us do the wrong thing. So what is it? Kam means desire and Krodha means anger. They are born from Rajas Guna, and it is the product that gives you sin. That product gives you sin, which is coming out of desire and anger, right? So that's what he says. Now, though he talk about it as a two separate things, but if you look at it, everything comes out of one thing, that is desire. And we discussed that before too. Desire. Even the anger comes out of desire. Two things comes out of desire: anger and greed. So if the desire is fulfilled, what I wanted, I got it. What comes? The result of that?
Happiness.
Great. For temporary happiness.
More desires.
More desires, so that we can say as a greed, right? It comes, happiness comes, right? If we get something that we desire, happiness comes. But then after that, the greed follows it, right? Because there are more desires come. And if the desire is not fulfilled, what happens?
Anger.
Anger comes. So unfulfilled desire leads to anger, and fulfilled desire leads to greed. So the root of all the action, all the bad action that we do is desire, right? So we're going to talk about desire then in the next class. So we will start from shlok number 38. 30, we will stay till 37. We need to discuss more on 37 and then we will get to 38. Okay? Okay, let's close it. Yes, Sia.
How long am I reading till?
You want to read till 40, Raja?
Okay.
Okay, so you can go from, what is it, 37, then you already read 37, we're going to repeat it next week, then 38, 39 and 40. And
Okay.
then 41, 42 and 43. Let's say, Swara, can you read that? 41, 42 and 43 from this chapter. You good, Swara?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Okay, let's. Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsachanurmardhanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadguru Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwara Gurur Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. Krishna Arpanamastu. Okay guys, thank you for coming.